Well, hello and welcome. I'm Miss Heard with Miss Heard Song Lyrics Podcast. We're in season 5, episode 255, and we're doing Foo Fighters' Pretender. The Miss Heard song lyric is, "What if I say I'm not like the others?" And then the Miss Heard lyrics is, "One of these things is not like the other." Very close. We're talking about Foo Fighter, and the ironic thing is I'm going to do a Foo Fighter Miss Heard song lyric because I'm actually going later today, where I live in the United States of America, northeast or northwestern part, to a Foo Fighters Nirvana cover band. So I thought, why not? And the interesting thing about this Miss Heard connection, it has been said that David Grohl has had that Sesame Street song, "One of These Things Is Not Like the Other," that may have subconsciously influenced his writing the song. So that's why that Miss Heard song lyric is perfect for this. So let's begin. The song is called The Pretender. It's by, of course, American rock band Foo Fighters, and were the first single from the group's 2007 album Echoes, Silence, Patience, and Grace. It is one of their most successful songs, peaking at number 37 of the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, making it their third top 40 single, and only Learn to Fly and Best of You beat its position on the Billboard Hot 100. I love it. Let's talk about the Foo Fighters first before we get into The Pretender. Okay, so they're an American rock band. They were formed in Seattle. So Seattle's literally the city above where I live here. So I'm in Oregon, which is the northwestern part of the United States, for those of you listening outside of the country or outside of the United States. And Seattle, where he started his rock band, it's a town that's actually above us in the state of Washington State. And it was formed in Seattle in 1994 and founded as a one-man project by former Nirvana drummer Dave Grohl. And at that time, the lineup now consists of Grohl, lead vocals, Nate Mendel, bass, probably the longest member of Foo Fighters, Chris Shefflett and Pat Smear's guitars, Rami Jaffe for keyboards, and Josh Freese for drums. And it said here, drummers William Goldsmith and Taylor Hawkins, along with guitarist Fran Stahl, are former members of the band. And what happened was Grohl created Foo Fighters after the breakup of Nirvana in 1994 to actually release his solo material. So here's how it began. In 1990, David Grohl joined the band Nirvana, as we all know, as a drummer. And during the tours, he took his guitar with him and actually wrote songs, but was intimidated to share them with the band. He was definitely in awe of his Nirvana frontman, Kurt Cobain, and Grohl would occasionally book studio time to record demos and covers and release an album of demos called Pocket Watch under the pseudonym Late with an exclamation point in 1992. So he was doing that on the side. Then, of course, as we know, Kurt Cobain died in 1994, so they disbanded, and Grohl received offers to work with various artists. It was said here that there were press rumors indicating that both Pearl Jam and he almost accepted a position as drummer in Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Grohl later said, quote unquote, "I was supposed to just join another band and be a drummer the rest of my life. I thought I would rather do what no one expected me to do." He instead entered Robert Lang's studio in October 1994 to record 15 of his own songs, with the exception of the guitar part on Ecstatic, played by Greg Dully of the Afghan Wigs. Grohl played every instrument and sang every vocal. That's amazing. He completed an album worth of material in 5 days and handed out cassette copies, because remember, that's back in the 90s, of the sessions to his friends for feedback. Grohl hoped to stay anonymous during the release of these recordings because he thought, it's just a limited run. And so he used the name Foo Fighters because it's a name taken from a Foo Fighter, a World War II term for unidentified flying objects. It's almost like a UFO, but it's called Foo Fighters. He hoped the name would lead listeners to assume the music was done by several people. He later said, quote unquote, "Had I actually considered this to be a career, I probably would have called it something else because it's the stupidest fucking band name in the world." The demo tape circulated in the industry, creating interest among record labels. They're probably like, who is the Foo Fighters? This sounds great. Prior to releasing Foo Fighters' 1995 debut album, he recruited Mendel and Goldsmith, both formerly of Sunny Day Real Estate, and Smear, who had appeared with Nirvana on tour. They're considered alternative rock, and Foo Fighters also used a technique of shifting between quiet verses and loud choruses, which Grohl said was influenced by the members of Nirvana, liking the Knack, Bay City Rollers, Saturday, yeah, Beatles, and ABBA as much as we like Flipper and Black Flag, I suppose. So that's where he gets his writing of the, like they say here, quiet verses and loud choruses, which is perfect for the song The Pretender. Most of the drum parts were re-recorded by Grohl. Smear departed soon after. Smear and Goldsmith were replaced by Stahl and Hawkins. Stahl was fired, oh boy, how the politics of band, before the recording of the group's third album, There's Nothing Left to Lose, in 1999. The band briefly continued as a trio until Shiflett joined after the completion of There's Nothing Left to Lose, making the core of their lineup. Foo Fighters released their fourth album in 2002, One by One, and it was followed with the two-disc In Your Honor in 2005, which was split between acoustic songs and heavier material. And then Foo Fighters released their sixth album called Echoes, Silence, Patience, and Grace in 2007. For Foo Fighters' seventh studio album, Wasting Light, in 2011, produced by Butch Vig, Smear returned as a full member after having appeared frequently with the band since 2005. Then 2014, Sonic Highways was released as a soundtrack to the television miniseries directed by Grohl, Concrete and Gold. 2017 was the second Foo Fighters album to reach number one in the United States, and the first to feature Jaffe, their longtime session and touring keyboardist, as a full member. Good for Jaffe. Their 10th album in 2021, Medicine at Midnight, was the last before Hawkins' death in March 2022. Drummer Hawkins, very sad. Then Freeze was announced as the band's new drummer the following year. Their 11th album, But Here We Are, was released in June of 2023, so about a year ago. How have they done? Well, they've done quite well. Foo Fighters has won 15 Grammy Awards, including Best Rock Album 5 times, making them the most successful rock acts in Grammy history. And then in 2021, the band was announced as recipients of the first Global Icon Award at the 2021 MTV Video Music Awards. And then, no surprise here, they were inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, also in 2021, with their first year of eligibility. So they didn't have to wait several years like some bands that are still waiting as we speak. There you go. All right, back to the song. So Dave Grohl first showcased the song, which he had actually called it Silver Heart. So that was the name of the Pretender originally, during pre-production of Echoes, Silence, Patience, and Grace, but the song did not see much development. And according to producer Gil Norton, quote unquote, the chorus was there, but the verse and the middle hadn't been written, not to mention the song was much slower. During the 10-day break from recordings back in April 2007, Grohl listened to the monitor mixes and thought the record needed another up-tempo song, so he spent his time developing Silver Heart, aka The Pretender. The band then recorded a demo for The Pretender, which Norton approved, leading to the song getting a proper recording the following day. Grohl described The Pretender as a stomping Foo Fighters up-tempo song with a little bit of Chuck Berry in it. I can hear that. The song is written, for some of you music nerds, in the key of A minor and showcases the shifting dynamics which Grohl wanted to employ on Echoes, Silence, Patience, and Grace, starting with a very stripped-down introduction featuring soft guitar and vocals along with the small string section. Then comes, like I said earlier, how they like to have those quiet to loud, an escalating hard rock sound interrupted by breakdowns and escalations in the bridge, including a repeat of the intro. Mixing engineer Rich Costley say that making all these dynamics work, as well as balancing the instruments, was challenging, as Grohl and drummer Taylor Hawkins at the time always wanted more focus on their instruments. Well done. The amount of guitar overdubs also worried Costley, quote unquote. The guitars on The Pretender are quite full on with counter melodies and so forth, and they all tend to be in the same range, so it gets quite dense. The challenge of this type of mix is retain the power of the track, yet to find a space for everything. Handling the guitar balance was a slight chore, and in comparison, the drums and vocals weren't quite easy, but you did it. It sounds amazing. So there's questions about what The Pretender is about. Back in a 2007 interview with XFM, Dave Grohl stopped short of explaining the meaning behind The Pretender, but alluded its roots go to a political unrest of the time it was written. So go back in 2007, see what was happening, and maybe we can get some insights. He then noted, quote unquote, "That's the thing with lyrics. You never want to give away specifics because it's nice for people to have their own idea or interpretation of the song. But everyone's been fucked over before, and I think a lot of people feel fucked over right now, and they're not getting what they're promised. And so something to do with that." Oh, there you go. Grohl also told XFM The Pretender was not initially planned for the album and happened really quickly. The song, quote unquote, this is what he says, the song didn't happen until later on in the session. We didn't go into making the record with that song, and it happened after we recorded a lot of stuff. Up until that point, I didn't know if we had a good opening song or not. So after we recorded it, I thought, oh, this is perfect. We have the song to open the record. And it's just because everybody's favorite song. It's the type of song that I look forward to opening songs with, and it came together really easily. We put the song together in, I don't know, a day, whereas a lot of the other songs we worked on for weeks. So again, he hit lightning in a bottle with this, and it was perfect for the album. How was it received? The song was number 47 on Rolling Stone's list of the 100 best songs back of 2007. The song was a 2008 Grammy Award nominee for Best Rock Song and Record of the Year. It won the Grammy for Best Hard Rock Performance the same year. This song was also number 94 on MTV Asia's list of top 100 hits of 2007. The music video was nominated for 2008 MTV Video Music Award for Best Rock Video, but lost to Linkin Park's Shout of the Day. Close. The album was also the fourth consecutive Foo Fighters album to have a song reach the top of the U.S. Hot Modern Rock charts. The Pretender was the most densely played alternative rock song of 2007. It held the record for the longest number one in the modern rock tracks history, beating a then record of 16 weeks by Red Hot Chili Peppers' Scar Tissue, Stain's It's Been a While, and Green Day's Boulevard of Broken Dreams with 18 weeks at number one, until Muse's Madness reigned for 19 weeks in 2012 and 2013. But that later got eclipsed by Portugal. The man Feel It Still in 2017 was spent 20 weeks at number 7, which spent 20 weeks at the number 1 spot. Then in late 2023, for the chart's 35th anniversary, 35th anniversary, Billboard placed The Pretender at number 7 on its ranking of the top 100 alternative hits in the chart's history. Pretty impressive. It also spent 6 weeks at number 1 at the Hot Mainstream Rock Track chart, and it also made the Triple J's Hottest 100 in Australia, placing at number 5. So it did quite well. How about the music video? Have you seen it? Well, wow. It's at a whopping, so I'm doing this July of 2024. We're at a little bit over 578 million views. So the music was directed by Sam Brown. It is presented what they call in a letterbox format, and definitely uses a lot of pans, zooms, and tracking shots. It shows the band performing the song in an airplane hangar with many strip lights on the ceiling. Behind the band is a large red screen, which is thick and solid, and then the band is then faced what appears to be a riot police officer who stands behind a black line in the front of the band. As the song continues, he's joined by more riot police officers who line up at the same black line. Panning left to right across the lineup, each officer is seen to have a number on their chest, which are in order counting down, hinting at a build-up toward the approaching climax. As the quieter bridge begins, the video slows down and the officers charge the band. Just as the band begins the sound's louder chorus, the screen suddenly explodes and a red liquid erupts from it, overwhelming the police officers but affecting the band to a lesser extent. At the end of the video, Dave Grohl is showing slamming his guitar on the floor as he falls to his knees. The visual effects in the video were done by Mechnology Visual Effects in Burbank, California. Well done. And like I said, as of July of this year, it's 578 million views plus, and it considered the band's most viewed video on the YouTube platform. Amazing. If you have any great suggestions like this misheard song lyric with the Foo Fighters, always share it with us. Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, or you can send me an email at misheard, that's MISSHEARD, at songs, it is MISSHEARD songs at gmail.com. Till then, keep singing the songs wrong. Bye.